everyone, you're with Dasha, the media producer for Cellframe Network, and as always, we've got a lot to talk about. Cellframe and the other projects in our ecosystem are excited to be back with you in 2026, bringing you all the latest on our development and the new features we have rolled out recently. Here's what we are covering today: dev updates, the big wallet release, ecosystem news, Consensus Hong Kong 2026, and much more. Let's dive right in. First up, we can't wait to tell you about our decentralized exchange built right in the Cellframe ecosystem. It uses a limit order book model, so it feels just like the sexes you're already used to. At the start of 2026, our developers have already made huge strides in expanding the logic of the interfaces and operation windows, plus they have reworked the user flows. To make the fee structure way more transparent, the DEX now shows you the final total for your operation, with the service and network fees broken out separately. We have also tweaked the advanced settings. The bottom tabs in the interface have been updated, and your trading history now has its own dedicated window. We have also fine-tuned the order execution parameters, including their time-enforced settings. We built a special feature that lets you migrate orders from the old DEX to the new version without losing your place in line on price or volume. Back in early January, we kicked off beta testing, and your feedback helped us polish the design and functionality of the DEX tab inside the Cellframe Wallet. Overall, the exchange is way more convenient and powerful now. It's a real pleasure to use. We also want to tell you about the auction site, which is still in the works. It'll be a special platform for projects that want to join the Cellframe ecosystem, giving them a place to bid on slots to launch their own L1 network. If you hold Cell tokens, you can support the projects you like by locking up your coins as bids. If your project wins, you'll get rewarded for locking with airdrops of their native tokens. As we mentioned in previous videos, Cellframe Auction has two parts: a centralized part, a special plugin that handles the auction process on the site, voting and accepting bids, and a decentralized part built on the blockchain that basically works like an advanced form of staking. This part is responsible for locking tokens in the network and handing out rewards based on the auction results. So what's new? To make transactions more stable and to process them more accurately, we have upgraded the blockchain plugin that handles and monitors bids. At the same time, we have made the web backend better for registering participants and managing the whole auction system. We're also continuing to refine the auction mechanisms to make future processes smoother. We are running product tests to make sure all the different parts play nicely together. Next up, let's talk about the wallet. And honestly, there are so many updates here, it's impressive. First off, the wallet is now available on the App Store. This is something everyone has been waiting for. This version already lets you handle token operation, access the Cellframe ecosystem, and use shared accounts, a financial tool built for businesses and DAOs. Shared funds make managing your corporate finances super transparent and easy. For iOS users, there are two ways to work: ultralight and remote. The first one is gentle on your device's resources. It connects to dedicated public nodes, saving battery and freeing up memory. Remote mode is all about maximum privacy and independence. It lets you connect to your own node running on another device, giving you total control over your network interaction. Oh, and by the way, we have posted 3 whole videos about the Cellframe Wallet on our channel just this past month. We got into detail about what it is, how to download it and set it up, and how to pick your node connection mode, and how to create your wallet as well. Links are in the description. This brand new Wallet 4.6 is out with its massive DEX overhaul. In previous releases, we already shipped some major interface improvements and better app logic. The wallet is also much more stable across different user scenarios now, thanks to a new data reset feature that kicks in when you switch node connection modes. We also want to give a special shout out to the big upgrade to the wallet's architecture. The main goal here was to speed up the operation cycle and make all the backend processes way more efficient, whether you're just checking your balance or sending a transaction. Not too long ago, our developers implemented a modern event subscription model using WebSocket Pub Sub. This speeds everything up significantly, so wallet users see changes pretty much instantly. Since the RPC node doesn't have to waste resources processing thousands of identical requests, the network isn't overloaded, making everything more reliable and efficient. How does it work? The wallet makes a single smart connection to the node and subscribes to the event it cares about. Then the RPC node automatically notifies the wallet about any and all blockchain changes the moment they happen. This isn't just a minor tech update, it's a whole new level of interacting with the blockchain. Our users will feel the difference right after the update hits the mainnet. The biggest win for January was tackling some major technical debt. Our developers updated the architecture and features of the core SDK. That's the DApp SDK and Cellframe SDK. Right now, we are moving the infrastructure into position for end-to-end testing on stage, and after all that, we'll be releasing the release candidate for Node 6.0. The dev team also reworked the DApp Python module into a standalone library that isn't tied to the main infrastructure. This makes it much easier for third-party developers to integrate and opens up a whole range of new uses. The start of 2026 means Cellframe is back in the thick of things with a ton of activities and events we can't ignore. We really want to tell you about the huge event in Hong Kong that Cellframe was part of, Consensus 2026. This is, just so you know, Asia's biggest blockchain forum. We were there building new business connections to scale up our partner network. And here are the main insights we wanted to share with you. Web3 development isn't the only game in town. One of the biggest topics at the forum was the union of blockchain and AI. Artificial intelligence is everywhere now, from writing code and auditing smart contracts to complex analytics. This isn't just hype, it's the new reality for the crypto industry. Another hot topic, the security of your funds and data. The market is moving towards more custody solutions and stronger KYC AML methods. In DeFi, insurance against risks and protection from threats are becoming absolutely critical. And then there is the whole question of crypto regulations. Hong Kong is positioning itself as a business-friendly jurisdiction, so discussions about licensing and how regulators affect innovation were front and center. The conference really showed how the crypto industry is growing up and maturing. On the community front, we ran a beta test for the updated Cellframe DEX in January. The feedback and suggestions we got were a huge help in making the exchange better. It was awesome. A huge thank you to everyone who took part. Based on the vote for token emissions for 2026, the community decided to issue 2 million CF20 Cell tokens, which will go to validators for signing blocks. And speaking of which, just a reminder that the reward staking program ended on October the 1st. If you don't have your own masternode, you can delegate your keys to other validators and still earn your share of the rewards. Over on YouTube, we launched a new series called Quantum Digest. We'll be regularly talking about the world of quantum tech. In the first episode, we broke down the biggest events of 2025 in quantum computing and explained why we all need to get ready for change. Link is in the description. Don't forget to check it out. We also want to share something we are really proud of. Something super important because it speaks to our core values. The Cellframe project earned an A security rating from Certic Skynet. This isn't just a score, it's a stamp of approval for investors and solid proof of how strong the Cellframe architecture really is. You already know about the multi-layered nature of the Cellframe ecosystem. We want to fill you in on the main updates from the projects in our ecosystem since the start of 2026. KelVPN is a decentralized quantum-secure VPN service with its own token, Kel. The team is still hard at work improving the app's features and making it more stable. Since the beginning of the year, they have been diving deep into reworking the app's architecture and getting ready for a major feature release. Here are some of the key tech improvements for KelVPN. New VPN protocols and traffic masking. They are building new protocols on top of TCP and UDP that use different ways to mask traffic. This includes obfuscation, anti-DPI techniques, and even mimicking legitimate traffic like DNS. All of this makes connections way more resilient when network restrictions are in place. Multi-hop routing. The team is working on adding multi-hop routing functionality. The idea is that the system will automatically pick the best sequence of nodes to give you better anonymity and fault tolerance. Collaborative mode. Work continues on reworking KelVPN's shared mode. Just a quick reminder that this is the mode where a user connects directly to a provider and pays for their service in Kel tokens. Lately, they have revamped the logic of how the client talks to VPN servers, which lays the groundwork for horizontal scaling and makes the whole network more reliable. They are also still polishing the user app's interfaces to get this new mode ready. New interface elements like a transaction log and balance history are now in place. They have also optimized the server connection logic and made sure the reconnect feature is stable on macOS and Linux. Just a quick reminder, Node.sys is a post-quantum L1 digital infrastructure for decentralized production and automation. A key milestone for January was wrapping up the NIS Genesis Airdrop. On January 15th, the long-awaited Genesis Airdrop happened. Early investors got their NIS tokens on the native Cellframe network CF20, according to the campaign terms. That same day, the token transfer for the team and advisors allocations was completed. This is a big step in the distribution process and paves the way for further integration of NIS into the ecosystem. Node.sys is also continuing to grow its de facto partner network. Recently, new partners joined the project. This partnership will help bring infrastructure and residential projects to life and expand where their products are shipped. In early February, the team was at the EcoFlame Industry Expo in Moscow, which focused on engineering solutions for heating systems. Also in February, the team took part in an industry conference in Minsk called Security for Buildings and Industrial Premises. The focus was on IoT access systems, industrial safety, and data protection. For the team, it was a great chance to showcase their solutions, find new partners, and talk through real-world cases with potential clients. Next up is CPUNK. Just to recap, in January of 2025, a new token called CPUNK appeared on the Backbone network and on Cellframe DEX. And over the course of the year, CPUNK has evolved from a meme coin into its own identity and messaging protocol, all built on post-quantum infrastructure. All the team's energy is now going into developing their own unique product, the DNA Messenger, which runs inside the Node.sys network. What's the big deal? It's post-quantum encryption combined with DNA identification mechanisms. But the coolest part? It's way more than just a messenger now. It's a full-blown multifunctional app. Just think about it. It has a built-in multi-chain wallet that supports Ethereum, Solana, Tron, and most importantly, the native Cellframe protocol, CF and CF20 tokens. This is a real breakthrough because it's the first time ever a quantum-secure protocol has been integrated into a multi-chain wallet. Now, on all devices. Another big thing. They have added synchronization between devices. Start a chat on your computer, pick it up later on your phone. Everything syncs up, nothing gets lost. To really get a sense of the scale of the work, let's look at the numbers. During this period, CPUNK has seen 769 commits, 364 bug fixes, and 90 new features and improvements. This isn't just maintenance, it's a deep, quality upgrade of the whole product. Right now, the DNA Messenger is available in a test version. We're getting really close to the full launch, so keep your eyes peeled for updates. Now let's talk about QEVM, the Quantum Ethereum virtual machine platform. It lets you run quantum-resistant smart contracts that are fully compatible with the EVM. Sounds complex? In practice, it's a huge leap forward, and here is what's been happening lately. First, QEVM liquidity is available again on the Cellframe DEX. Second, a deep architectural overhaul. In January, the QEVM team took a hard look at the platform's key components. The data layer, the transaction flow, everything was redesigned to take advantage of the Cellframe's new capabilities. This isn't just an update, it's building a foundation for years to come. And third, full synchronization with Cellframe. QEVM is now fully aligned with the network storage and replication protocols. And what that means is even better security, improved scalability, and truly deep integration into the ecosystem. This isn't just a technical detail, it's a sign that QEVM is moving to a new level of integration with the Cellframe infrastructure. We are putting the final touches on it before the full mainnet launch. We can't wait. And one more project from our ecosystem, Dotflat. It's a backed flat coin with stable purchasing power. Back in January 2025, the Dotflat project website finally launched. And in January 2026, the reverse auction for the RLE governance token, which started at the end of last year, was completed. This was triggered by a surplus of DFC flat coins in the stabilization fund from the 2025 emissions. During the auction, participants offered their RLE tokens in exchange for a share of the 611.24 DFC set aside for the buyback. All the RLE tokens bought back were burned, a classic deflationary model that helps support the value of the governance token. New RLE presale round on Pink Sale. In early February, the team also ran an additional presale round for the RLE governance token on the Pink Sale platform. Let me remind you what RLE is. RLE is the governance token for the Dotflat platform. Holding RLE lets you participate in protocol governance and vote on key system parameters, like the composition of the commodity basket that the DFC price is patched to, the interest rates for credit emissions, the size of the stabilization fund. The platform's revenue is used to buy back RLE from the market, which reduces effective inflation and helps the token's value grow. That's all the news for today. Thanks for sticking around until the end. Keep following us to stay in the loop on everything. See you in the next one.